This is the plaintiff, Jessica Culleton. She says the defendants are her parents, and they gave her ATV to her sister, and now they won't give it back to her. She left the ATV in their care. They took it upon themselves to either give it to her sister or allowed her sister to take it. Now she wants it back. Since they won't get it back for her, parents or no parents, she's suing for the $3,000 she paid for it. These are the defendants, Robert and Barbara Dillon. They say the ATV was stored at their house for 2 years, and they ran out of room storing the thing. The plaintiff was estranged from the family, and they gave the ATV to her sister. If the plaintiff wants it back, she should go ask her sister for it. Bottom line, the plaintiff never mentioned the ATV for years, and if she wants it, she knows where to get it. They're accused, playing favorites.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Jessica Colleton, you are suing your parents, Robert Dillon and Barbara Dillon, for the value of an ATV that you say they did not hold for you. Tell me about the ATV, first of all.
In 2010, my husband and I bought the ATV for our children to use.
Okay, now you were married at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Your husband has since passed away.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the gentleman next to you is?
My second husband.
Okay. The ATV was purchased while you were married.
Mm-hmm.
For Christmas for the children. Are those, I take it those are the children, because
Yes.
if you brought someone else's children, that'd be really weird.
No.
Let me see, can you move to one side so I can
Sure.
see the, there we go. All right. You can come in. All right, so then your husband and you get a divorce in what year?
2013.
Was the ATV assigned to either you or your husband at that time by the court in the dissolution?
No, we decided that we asked them if it was okay if we could keep it at their house.
That's back in 2010.
No, like when we were getting a divorce, we decided it would be best if it was there so that whether the kids were in my possession or his, we could either or go and ride the ATV.
I mean, that's great,
their
except
house.
for that doesn't answer the question. That answers the question where we're going to park an ATV. That doesn't answer the question who owns the ATV now that we're getting a divorce. You see how that's a different question? Because I'm sure that there was a division of property in the divorce, right? You take that car, he takes the other car. You sell the property, you split the proceeds, whatever it is going on there. This is one of the things that needed to be, just nobody was worried about it, so you just left it over there, and that's that. But then something happens to your relationship with your parents, right?
Yeah.
What happened?
So after I got a divorce, they chose to be on my ex-husband's side as opposed to mine. And so we did not speak very much from 2013 on.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What do you mean by be on his side?
They were not in support of getting a divorce. They were not going to help me. They told me I was not welcome at their house.
Over the divorce?
Yeah, basically.
Was there anything more to that? All right, I will ask them, but I was going to give you a chance to explain
I don't
first.
know. They're very old-fashioned.
Okay,
They
tell
really
me
don't-
what happened when she was getting a divorce that would cause such a schism in a family that had been...
I told them, both of them, I wasn't going to get in the middle and I wasn't going to take sides.
Okay.
I'm not taking sides.
All right, so she felt that that was disloyal.
Yes.
According to you, they put the ATV in the home of your sister, let your sister take the ATV. And you used the phrase, she's the reason for the divorce. Explain that to me.
Well, she was in and out of relationships a lot in the early 2000s. And whenever she was out of a relationship, it became the three of us. And when she was in a relationship, she went on her merry way. So she intervened a lot in our lives when she wasn't welcome.
Okay, but do you think she's a reason for the divorce?
Well, when it becomes like Jim and against me, then yeah, it becomes a real problem.
What does against mean? Because, in a lot of divorces, there doesn't have to be an against. There's almost always an against between the husband and wife getting a divorce, but how does sister fit into that?
Well, when your husband takes the side of your sister over the side of his wife, that's a real issue.
So you don't have a relationship now with your sister.
No,
How long has it been since you talked to your sister?
I don't know, 6, 7 years.
All right. Now, the divorce is in 2013, and your ex-husband passes away, correct? So when that happens, and it happens in what year?
2015.
Okay. When that happens, how long after that do you ask for the ATV?
After that, there was some back and forth between, I tried to let my parents see the kids and take the kids, but it was difficult because something like, yeah, sure, you can take Jimmy to a Boy Scout event, but then when I said, okay, take his phone, they're, no, he can't have his phone. He's with us, he's fine. So as soon as I let them have some involvement with the kids, all of a sudden I wasn't the parent, they are in charge, and I can't say anything or say when they come back or when.
Why would the kids not be able to have a phone while they're with you?
She kept texting him and calling him all the time. We were trying to enjoy ourselves together. And
Yeah,
I
that's
said,
not really up to you. She's a parent. She gets to do that if she feels like it.
I understand that.
He didn't-
I understand
When was the
that.
last time you folks saw the kids?
We
It was
get-
last month that we took us to court so that we could see the kids. It was 6 months after Jim died. Okay, she cut off all
Communication.
communications with the kids.
Right?
We could not text them. We could not call them. We could not
And
do
you
anything.
took her to court?
Yes.
And what happened with that case?
Well, what happened was it went on for quite a while, and we had to go to shrink people and all kinds of stuff, and then arbitrators.
I'm confused though. Does your state give grandparents rights? Because
There's no such thing.
Yeah, there's no such thing as grandparents' rights.
Right.
No,
Well,
So
what
why didn't the case get dismissed?
Because it got arbitrated to. We could see the kids. She signed. She agreed.
Oh, because she agreed. Because
Right.
otherwise, I mean, it may be a sad state of affairs, but the United States Supreme Court has made very clear that grandparents can't sue for custody or
Right,
visitation
right,
or any
yes.
other such thing.
I know that.
Right.
Anyway.
All right. So there's an agreement in place, and it's probably in the best interest of the
It's,
children because they, I'm sure, love their grandparents and would like to be able to spend time with them. And so you started seeing the grandchildren again.
Once a month, every Sunday.
So now here's my question to you. There was an ATV.
Yes.
The ATV is registered under your ex-husband's name.
He was the one that went and purchased it.
You know it's registered under his name.
I know he purchased it
and
himself.
and you didn't insist on having your name on the registration.
No, I didn't
right.
insist.
What happened to the ATV 2013, 14, 15, 16,
The
17?
Jim stayed in the marital home until 2015. And he had the ATV at his house, at my house, at Wendy's
and
house.
forth?
Yeah.
Depended on where the kids were and what they were doing. It was not parked at my house and kept.
The ATV ends up at the sister's house, right? When does it end up at her house and how?
Approximately 2 years ago. Now, this ATV...
Is this after Jim passed?
Right.
After Jim's passed, around 2017, we took the ATV, my husband's Harley, my son's motorcycle, and 2 cars over to my daughter's house because
Which daughter?
because she has an extra garage. We just put him in there. Nobody's riding the motorcycles, nobody's riding the ATV. And
How long had it been since your children rode the ATV?
Since Jim passed, 2015.
So now it's 2019, 4 years later or whatever it is, the children decide we'd like to ride the ATV again. So you, for the first time in all those years, then say, hey, where's the ATV?
Yeah, because no one ever, at no time did they not know where I was. They knew I lived within 2 miles.
Well, and also at no time did you not know where the ATV was.
I assumed it, they never told me it moved, so I assumed it was still in their garage.
Here's what I don't understand. Has anyone spoken to,
Yes,
and does she have the ATV there?
yes. The only problem with that, last year, Jess sued over Jim's estate. And now the ATV is listed in his estate, so...
Okay. What's
The other problem with that.
what does your sister have to do with?
She was the executor of his estate.
Oh,
But the ATV is not listed in his estate. They're making that up.
Well,
No,
no, I don't care whether it's listed or not. It's part of the estate.
That's what she's saying. It's part of the estate.
Okay, just stop a second. Why are you suing your sister regarding the estate? Can you just give me a Reader's Digest version of that?
In our divorce decree, there is a life insurance policy that he was supposed to hold for benefit of the kids, which was never distributed.
Okay. Why was your sister made the executor of his estate?
Exactly.
No, I'm asking you.
Because that was their relationship. And
Were they having a no.
Possibly, yeah, maybe.
Okay. Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Did you think that there was something going on between Jim and your sister?
Yeah, I think there was something going on.
Okay. So, do you have any evidence, or is that just part of the rage that sometimes comes up in you that I'm seeing? Because you do sometimes jump to a conclusion, like call us sometime becomes, a big, this is a violation of my right as a mom when you're trying to have a relationship with them. So I get confused, okay? But what is the essence of the lawsuit against the estate? You didn't sue her. You sued the estate. And she's the executor of the estate.
Right.
Right. Was the life insurance policy paid up at the time of death?
She won't tell me.
Do you have a lawyer on that case?
Yes.
What's the size of, what are we talking about?
It was $250,000 life insurance.
All right. Why are you suing them and not your sister for the ATV if you know that the ATV is in your sister's possession?
Well, the first conversation we had about it, the answer was, I'm not sure where it is, I'll look. The second conversation we had about it, the answer was, I'm not getting involved, call your sister. So I don't know exactly where it is, what happened to it. The last I saw it was at their house. And when I know in 2013, when we divorced, Jim
Except
and I
for
both,
that they told you call your sister, contact your sister, and you don't want to contact your sister because you're in the middle of this big blowout. But do they ever tell you that it's at your sister's?
not for sure.
Okay, it's at your sister's. Also, why wouldn't, because we know it doesn't belong to the sister, why wouldn't you tell the sister, get it back to our house because Jessica wants it back for the kids?
The problem arises because of those two in conflict like that. She says, it's locked up, it's over here.
And it's part of the
And it's part of
Lawsuit.
the assets
Yeah,
of the
but
estate.
that's ridiculous. It's part of the estate for how many years? How long ago did he pass? So either she is distributing the estate or she's keeping the estate. She doesn't have a right to keep the estate just because
I
she's the executive.
understand.
Just a second, I'm not done. That ATV doesn't belong to her. That ATV is for the children. That was a Christmas gift for the children. It only wasn't titled in their name because it can't be. So, but everyone knows that the end recipient of the ATVs, including you two grandparents, know that it's really for the benefit of the children. So why is it that you don't tell to please bring it back to your house so that she can get it? Because you can't put the two of them together because there's a big lawsuit pending.
So
She said no.
she says, no. She says it's an asset, and she says, it's locked up over here. If you come over and cut the lock off, I'm going to call the police. That means I'll be charged with a felony for
Boy,
breaking
you
in.
raised a couple of kids who just don't get along with you.
Yes, I know. And that's why I say don't get involved.
That's why
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So I know it's tough. Would you sue your parents if they did you dirty and gave away stuff that was really important to you?
No, because I know them. If they were to do that, there would be a certain reason.
But let's assume there's not a reason. Let's assume they just did you dirty.
No way. It's your parents. I don't think you could do it.
Really? But if they did you dirty, I'm not talking maybe your parents, but other parents who might do you dirty.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think so.
What do you say?
There's no way I'd sue my parents. No way.
What if it was $5,000 worth of stuff?
You know what? I'll make it up.
$50,000 worth.
50,000. You know,
$100,000.
100,000. Now we're getting up there.
Works every time. Going inside the courtroom.
Problem is that you have sued the wrong people. I know you're angry at your parents, but you have you folks ever been in therapy?
yes, we saw.
Together, I meant.
Oh no.
No. Now I'm going to tell you something, and I need you to listen to what I'm saying, all right? This is a hell of a way to run a railroad. And the three children deserve better than that. I've been watching them throughout this case. Your daughter's holding on to the young one the entire time. This has got to be super painful for them. The only thing I know is that everybody here loves them. But the other thing I know is that nobody here behaves with their best interest at heart. And it's really something you all have to start doing. You have to think before you act. Suing them for the ATV is nonsense. You know where you got to go for the ATV. Your theory is, well, they released the ATV and that was an act of negligent care and therefore they must pay me the value of the ATV. I do not find that to be the case. Why? Because the ATV was abandoned for 4 years by you. You never asked about the ATV. The ATV is registered under your ex's name, and she's the executor of your ATV, of the ex's estate. The ATV was purchased under your husband's name, and she's the executor of his estate. You know where you got to go to get your hands on the ATV. Having said that, your sister is kind of a jerk, okay? Because there is absolutely no reason for her not to release the ATV. Being the executor of an estate doesn't entitle you to the assets of the estate. It gives you the responsibility to distribute the assets of the estate. That's what she should be doing. You need to sue your sister for the ATV. My business is concluded with the end of the ATV saga. But if you all love these children, I hope that your business of trying to figure out a framework within which you can all live and allow these children to have access to their grandparents that doesn't undermine her authority as a parent, that work, hopefully, is now beginning. But let me tell you that if you think lawyers and arbitrators can solve that for you, you are out of your minds. This is something that only a therapist and hard work on everybody's part can solve. And if nobody here is willing to do that, those kids will be 18 in the blink of an eye. Good luck to you.
Well, the judge has given both parties a pretty stern bit of advice in this case. What are you thinking right now? And what do you think about what the judge just had to say to you?
I think that they knew exactly where I was, and if they were considerate of their grandkids, they would have just given them the ATV that belongs to them.
Well, anyway, you have no right to sue them for the ATV.
Evidently, that's what the judge said.
That's what the judge said. But the family's in a disarray right now. It's kind of a mess. Are you going to be able to try and help clear things up?
I doubt very much anything's going to change.
Really? Well, that's a real shame. Okay. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
I feel sorry for you all. All right, here come the defendants. Jeez, what do you think? If you'll step over here, sir.
Okay.
What do you think about what the judge just had to say to you?
It was just a toy. It wasn't anything that was of
there's
any.
much more going on here than
Oh,
just
yes.
the ATV.
Oh, yeah.
That's just one little
Yeah,
item.
one.
That's
It's one little toy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, you see, there also was a go-kart involved.
Well, that's another toy, you know.
Right.
The relationship
the
itself between you
yes.
all was the key thing.
It's horrible.
And it's fallen apart.
Yes,
It's horrible.
but
It's horrible.
as you, my daughter isn't willing to try, and she's
Kind of sounds
not-
like it, doesn't it?
Yes, so that's what we're up against.
Well, good luck to you.
No,
We can't
we'll
solve
try.
your problems in a courtroom.
I'm hoping when they turn
Sorry about
18,
that.
we'll see a lot of them.
All right, well, let's hope so.
We'll see.
Thank you.
All right, good
Thank
enough.
you.
Thank you very much. Huh, very sad case, Harvey. What do you think?
You know, Doug, the judge made such a good point that lawyers can't solve family problems. It really takes the family to get together and heal.